Good afternoon, good evening, welcome world. What's happening, video world? To all my video viewers, my dub V's, as I like to call you. Welcome once again to the channel that's bringing you entertainment, complete entertainment all rolled up in one. What channel might that be? Well, I'm glad you thought it. The channel I'm referring to is the one and only one, DJBLongstudio.com. And I say to you that the difference will be you. That's right, the difference will be you. Tuning in to keep up with a variety of current topics, including music, sports, domestic, and worldwide social events, relationships, just to mention a few. It's all about the entertaining and enlightening you in various ways under one umbrella. The umbrella of DJBLongstudio.com. And today's feature will be sports Phanatics. Yeah, that's for all you crazy sport fans out there. This is for you. What's happening in the sports world? And all the diehard sport lovers. I'm talking about those of you that eat, sleep, dream, and probably shit sports. Now, to those of you that just got to have it, I present to you the show, Sports Phanatics. Now, on this show, my featured guests will talk about some of the hottest issues in sports by giving their unbiased opinions without any political correctness. That's right, no PCBS on this show. This is not intended to be a debate show, but it can turn into one. But it's not intended to be. But an opinion-based show with facts included. Now, you know what facts included in it. You know what they say about the facts and opinions. They are just like what? And everybody's got one, but some what? More than others. That's right. But at the end of the day, it's still your opinion. And as long as it's your opinion, no one can tell you that you're wrong. Now, they might be able to disagree with you, but they can't tell you that you're wrong. So before I go any further, allow me to introduce you to my illustrious co-host, Big Buddha.
What we doing, baby? What's good?
Hi, Adam Ace. Let them know what's up.
Well, I'm his long-term friend, my good buddy Bingo Long, and I'm just proud to be on the show, and I'm an affiliate of the Bingo Long show. And for the sports fanatics out there, I just want to let you know we got a lot of ground to cover and a lot of hot tips to help you. This same show I presented my fantasy stuff with, and I was able to win this year. Let me know that good feedback and good points, we got it. So sit back and get ready to be dazzled and amazed with our NBA prospects and our prospects for the NFL Super Bowl champion. So with that being said, back to the main host of the show, Bingo Long.
I see you had to kind of throw that little fantasy football thing in there. You know what I'm saying? Even though that will be one of our main topics at the very beginning to kick things off. And if any of you participants, anybody that's listening in, if you had a chance to get into a fantasy football league this year, hit us up on a live chat. You hit us up on live chat, and we'll definitely go over some of the things with fantasy football. And Big Ace, as he just mentioned, with the big help and advice from some others, he was able to run through his league and actually win a championship. I believe that's your first championship, right, Ace?
Yeah, no, I won the other one. Remember, I won the one we did a long time ago. We did one a long time ago, I think, with Larry Fitz them. I won that one, but after that, I haven't won no more until this year. And we talking about over 15 years before I won me another one.
Okay, all right. Well, you know what? Doing my run, I did a little fantasy football at one point in time, and I do have a chip. I got a little trophy, and I came in kind of like you did. I came in off the street, forced into a situation. The boys were short. The fellas were short of a player. I said, what the hell? I did no study and none of that good stuff. Didn't study no players, teams. I said, you know what? Go ahead. I'll do it. Y'all talking me into it. Mess around and make a long story short. I blazed the trail, boy. I wasn't even close. I didn't go undefeated. I wasn't blowing them out like you were, but I had a squad. But with that being said, so if any of you out there that were in a fantasy league, holler at us. Let us know how you did. I know some of you didn't do too well. A lot of you didn't do too well. Well, that's how fantasy football goes. But either way, holler at us if you did. All right, not a problem. Okay, so Ace, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk a little bit about some. Let's take a quick look here at my boy Kyrie. Now, no. Before we go to Kyrie, let's talk a little bit about your boy Antonio Brown. You
Well,
think Antonio Brown is done playing in the league? You think his days are done?
well, let me tell you, he is a crafty player. He keeps his health up. Um, I think the situation that ensued with him concerned about being healthy won't go against him, and I'll tell you why. He didn't refuse to play because he got paid. He didn't refuse to play because even his doctor advised him not to get on the field. So he was being cut because, basically, from what I see, he was injured. And they still wanted him to go out there and play. Now, I don't think that's fair for him to. A lot of players do it, get injured and don't play. But because it's Antonio Brown, when he does it, now he makes a headline. I don't think that's fair to him. I
Well,
don't think that's fair.
I don't know. I don't know about he was injured, man. If Antonio Brown is injured, it's in his head. He's injured and in his head. He's mentally injured. Because had Antonio Brown been a problem way back when he was with the Steelers, and from what I understand, it's basically he got a little bit upset at Tom Brady for not throwing him enough balls in the first half of that last game. He showed a little bit of jealousy regarding Tom Brady throwing Gronk. I think he finished with like 10 targets, 8 receptions. Antonio Brown had 5 receptions or 5 targets at the time when the coach told him to go back into the game, and he was playing this little diva role, and he didn't want to go back into the games, and you saw the result of that. He wanted to act straight like a diva, and so I think he done found his way out of the league, man. I think that was his last chance, and he did a great job of blowing him.
Well, you know what? I would say this, and this is something here. Uh, Contracts have a way of getting the best out of a player and getting what you want out of a player. He's not done. There's too many teams that need a prolific player like him. They're just going to construct the contract a little bit different for him to play. But I would say one thing to his defense. When Grunt was out and wasn't there, Antonio Brown saw all the targets he can handle, which leads me to this question. We all know that Gronk is Tom Brady's good friend. We all know how he feel about Gronk. Gronk come back, the whole offense was about Gronk. So I'm not going to fault Brown for that. I'm not. He'll just go to a team where he'll be the feature on the team, where he'll be looked at first as an option of offense than being a secondary. Now, his diva aspect, he used to be in the man, and now he was sharing the spot with a man. So with that being said, you got teams out there that love to take him. I hate to say it, the Dolphins that love to take him.
Nah,
Colts.
nah,
What you mean, nah?
nah. And listen, don't nobody want his headache no more. He done, man. He stick a fork in him. He done. He ruined it for his career in football. He's done.
Listen,
Gone. Done.
I bet you next year, Antonio will be lining up on somebody's team. The Jets. I mean, that's a lot of teams that'll take the chance with him. Watch what I tell you. Remember, let's go back. I hate to throw it up, but I'm glad you said it. Remember when I told you about Javonte Williams, the running back for Denver?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I forgot the young man's name. I hoping to see him in that box with me. He would tell me it was a long shot was the word. I wouldn't even remember. I wrote that down. He said that was a long shot that I'm taking. I'm reaching. I am reaching is what it was told. Well, Devontae Williams won the running back criteria for me in a major way. He ended up being starting back. So I did my research, like I told you, and I went and looked. There's teams that I just mentioned. The Jets is interested in him in the Houston Texans. They would just put a hold on his contract and put them stipulations in there for him to get paid. Now, after that, he'll be done. Because they're saying if you ain't gonna abide by a contract, you're no good to nobody. Watch you be on somebody's team this year.
I don't know about that. I'm serious. I wouldn't bring him on my team. Not at
That's
all.
you. You wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. But when you got a stadium and you trying to sell tickets and you need to be going as a contender, trust me. Trust what I tell you. He'll be out there. If
Okay.
Brady at 40-something years old can throw a ball around the field, a man of his age and caliber can go out there and catch a pass.
Listen,
Brady changed the whole dynamic on how you look at age in the sports.
that's true. That's true. And you know what though? And that's a subject we touch on a little bit later. But I don't think Brady changed that much of a dynamic because if you look at my boy, the goat, the king himself, he's changing the dynamic of the game for age.
Who?
Now we ain't gonna talk about that a little bit later. Though. I ain't gonna get you all fired up goat. Okay, but Antonio Brown, he's done, man. He's done.
Okay.
Ain't nobody gonna bring it back on their team. Nobody.
Okay. Nature is a lot. It's a long time to. You know, I learned since I've been home, forced to retire. I learned that people's memory is just as thin as a piece of paper. I remember when everybody was fired up by all of the killings of the black people. And all of a sudden, you hear nothing else about it. All of Antonio Brown is going to have the best ally a man can have. He's going to have time. When next football season come around, there's going to be, oh, he had a drama, but I think he matured now. We're going to do something to his contract if he bid not to this, whatever. And that's what's going to happen. Sad to say, business always prevail over ethics. Watch what I tell you. I've been home studying business and ethics. I've seen people put ethics to the side for the benefit of business. And not just in this sport of football. I'm talking about baseball, basketball, and even hockey. I've watched nothing but sports shows from day one to day two. So when I tell y'all something, I'm not going by a hunch. I'm going by agents of what they're reporting to sportscasters. And believe you me, there's sure as I'm in front of this camera right now, Antonio Brown will be suiting up. They thought he was done when he left Pittsburgh and he went to the Raiders. And the way he acted at the Raiders, nobody said they'd touch him. But he ended up in New England. And just like he ended up in New England, he's going to end up somewhere else. Because at the end of the day, I got a stadium and I got to put bodies in the stadium. I lost money because of COVID. And if that boy going to come in and pack my stadium and help me recoup some of the money I lost, we just have to do a better job of managing his performance. Now, if you listen to the way I presented that, you have to agree that I'm not too far from the truth. Fact.
Yeah, you're not too far, but you far enough for it to be not true. And trust me, Antonio Brown will not get another chance in the NFL. He done. He did. I mean, he did this on national TV. You know what I'm saying? He embarrassed the franchise. As a matter of fact, he embarrassed every franchise that he was at. You see the mess he pulled when he was in Pittsburgh with Tomlin. He's on Facebook and Twitter in the locker room while Tomlin talking about the game and the strategies and what they did and how they lost the game, and he over there trying to get Facebook viewers. That man he's got a problem, and it followed him in Oakland. You know how much money he left on the table because he couldn't fulfill his little short-term contracts that he was signing. He didn't care about the money. He didn't care.
Well,
And this thing with Arizona, if it wasn't for Brady, he would have never been on that team. Brady
time.
stood up for him, and then he turned around and tried to stab Brady in the back.
Well,
I got no time for him. His
well, you know
nonsense.
what? Now that right there is the only thing I have to agree with that make me might be wrong. Tom Brady has so much weight because when Randy Moss left um, New England, he was done. After Brady cut him, he was done. Same thing was with Chad Johnson. When people leave Brady, they're done. So I might have to retract my comment because I forgot who was the last quarterback. Tom Brady. If Tom Brady don't want to play with you no more, I have to retract. I forgot that Brady was the one. See, I know about the ethics, but I know about Brady. Brady is like LeBron James and Shaq. Them boys come to your team, whatever they want, they get. That's how Eddie Jones got screwed out when Shaq came. He got screwed out with the Lakers when Shaq came. He came to the Heat and got Eddie Jones out again. So I did my research, as you can see. And LeBron
Yeah.
James come, he actually run the team. He says who come, who goes. And you know what? So do Tom Brady. I retract my comment. He is done. Staple it, bam. Paper clip it, click. Says over for nada. He is done. He'll be watching football from his TV, counting his money, what he used to make. Because one thing for sure, top notch leaders in the sport will end your career, not you. And Tom Brady just iced him for the rest of the career. You're right. I retract it. I stand to correct it. Tom Brady gonna close the gap and shut the gate on the Antonio Brown saga forever.
Well, like I said, Tom Brady don't know him very well apparently, and he actually mentioned that he hope he can get some help. People have been saying that for the longest. They hope he can get some help, but you know how you know how that goes, man. If you ain't
Yep.
looking for no help, you won't get none. And
Yeah, and that's what I
I,
was saying. If I was thinking as far as that, another team that need help would get Brady. I mean not Brady, would get Antonio Brown. But because you was under Tom Brady, and if Brady can't control you as a receiver, then our quarterback damn sure can't control you. You understand? We got an old man with wisdom and knowledge, and you fell out with him. I know what you'll do to the young whippersnappers we got out here. You're trying to take over the team. You're becoming cancer. See, that's what's going to hurt him. You played your last game under Brady, and that's what's going to hurt him. That's why I stand corrected, and that's why I'm retracting. You're not going to not
aha.
play. You're not going to not play no more because of your inability to respect authority. You're not going to play no more because of your inability to be in the place to be an authority with the oldest, most prolific quarterback to ever play the game, and that's what's going to kill you. That's what's going to
Okay.
end your
Well, listen.
legacy.
I'm glad to see you came around. I'm glad to see you came around, no doubt. But with enough of that Antonio Brown stuff, like I said, he got a road ahead of him, so I don't know what he's gonna do. But sticking to the NFL right now, if you had to pick, who would be your MVP right now? Start with the AFC and give me the NFC. Who would be your pick?
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't too much like nobody in the NFC. If I had to say anybody in the NFC, no. NFC, I have to give it to Aaron Rodgers. The
Okay. All
the
right.
performance that Aaron Rodgers, the way he changed the actual concept in Green Bay when everybody said he leaving, he's dead, he leaving, he's dead. He got them boys on board. They are tuned in. You hear me? Green Bay is hunting and they're thirsty. I have to give that to Aaron Rodgers. AFC, I'm gonna have to give that to the running back for the Denver Broncos because
You playing Homer. You going with your fantasy team.
let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. They might not make it to the playoffs, but when it comes to first of all,
They're not.
he would get rookie of the year. He would get it. He came in an environment as a running back and gave hope to the quarterback with the way he ran. The quarterback felt less pressure when he was behind the snap of that ball. So even though it don't go nowhere because you got to go all the way to the top, I still say AFC the best rookie of the real. That was the running back Javante Williams, and I will go NFC Green Bay Aaron Rodgers. Who to win it all? You know how they go. Who's left last in the playoffs? And that is the way it is. Winners get recognition, losers get attaboys.
But I agree with you about the Aaron Rodgers, and because yeah, definitely. You think about the things that he went through at the beginning of the season, way back when they drafted. What was his name? Love, and
Yeah,
the talk was that he was coming in to replace Aaron Rodgers.
yeah,
So Aaron had a little diva. He got some diva in him too, and so he held out for the training camp. He held out for spring practice. He held out basically all the off season,
right.
and he turned around and he got off to a slow start in the regular season. But look at that. That's like Stephen A. say. That's a bad man.
Yeah, I'm
And he
telling
turned
you,
around and right.
you watch those guys in Green Bay. They're playing hard for Aaron Rodgers. They're playing like the people played for Ben Roethlisberger on that last game they played. See, I look at competition, competitive spirit, and most important, I look at coaching. See, that coach, no, he got to produce for Aaron Rodgers to stay. The team everybody wants to be a winner. So they rally around Aaron Rodgers, but where the coach is going to rally around the team. So those three components right there are the components for a championship. And that being said, I can't see nobody getting that more deservingly than Aaron Rodgers. With controversy and dynamics and all the stuff that was involved, y'all guys are the hardest team aside from when the NFC, they're the hardest team because Dallas, I don't believe in them. Tampa, that issue. Brady don't have enough weapons. That's what's gonna hurt him. The Rams look good, boy. Let me tell you, they was
Oh,
doing amazing shit, but they
well,
falling off.
well, listen. Before you get off into the teams, you well, my pick for the NFC would be Aaron Rodgers as well, and for the AFC, I'm telling you, man, that he went through a little slump. He got off to an early
Oh,
start,
he's doing better
and
than Mahomes.
you got it. You got it.
See,
That's
I
that.
misunderstood. I thought you mean we're gonna win it all. I thought the MVP going. Well, if you want to go, it's gonna be Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. But
Right.
Aaron Rodgers gonna get it. Patrick Mahomes a
Well,
bad boy. He was on my fantasy. But when you look at team spirit, changing the dynamics, you gotta give it to Aaron Rodgers.
well, I mean that's for the NFC. Yeah, NFC.
No, I'm talking
AFC.
AFC is
You
second
got to go
round.
with Patrick Mahomes again.
But who's going to win the MVP for the Super Bowl? It's going to be Aaron Rodgers. My prediction, to go ahead to your questionnaire, because I want to say this to make sure I get it before I forget. It's going to be Green Bay and KC in the bowl.
Oh wait a minute, wait a minute. Listen, you listen. You're getting ahead of the game right now. You
I'm
got.
sorry.
I know. We gonna come back to that. But I wanted to make sure we figured out who was going to be the MVP for AFC and NFC. Now, you talk about rookie of the year. You're talking about your running back for Denver. I mean, you got sentimental uh, feelings about him because he was
Yeah,
on your
the way
fantasy
he
team.
performed. The way he
You
performed.
biased. You're a
The
little
way he
biased.
performed.
But I'm gonna tell you that linebacker for Dallas,
Oh,
Mackay,
oh,
that's your rookie of the year.
that's right. My bad. But here's the catch. Here's the catch. Rookie of the year. Now, he's a solid player. Remember what Rookie of the Year consists of. Player performance and what the performance, how it enhances the team. Now, that linebacker for Dallas, let me tell you something. He's a hell of a player. But Dallas still losing because he don't fight the team as well as Denver.
What do you
But
mean they still losing?
Dallas, I'm going ahead of the topic. If you're a Dallas fan, so it's going to help you to relate. Dallas is going to get knocked out the first round comfortably. That's why I can't give that to him. He don't rally the troops. Nobody get fired up. They're still riding the coattail of the run of Cooper and Prescott. That I said, Micah Parkinson, the linebacker Parkinson.
Yeah.
They were talking about him on the sports show, and I agree. He's a hell of a player, but he don't find nothing up. Dallas thinking here, don't worry about it. We'll be doing. People that are watching this show, remind him that I said Dallas home in one.
Well, listen, they might be, but don't be shocked if they get to the NFC Finals and maybe even the Super Bowl. So don't be shocked. Their squad is good enough. And with that being said, let me ask you this: who you think's pretending, or who's contending for the Super Bowl? Now in NFC, we got Arizona,
yeah,
the Rams, Tampa, Dallas, or Green Bay. Who's pretending? Who's contending?
Who's pretending? Arizona. That's
you say. Arizona's pretending?
Yeah, they came out the hardest team in the league. Look at them now. They fell off.
Listen, Arizona. I'm telling you, don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them. Sleep on them.
Well, and
Arizona.
Who's for real? Green Bay.
I'll give you that. They're contenders. They're not pretending.
I want you to understand my answer. My answer is I'm telling you who's going to be the team in the bowl or in the NFC conference. I'm not telling the team who will get it. I'm telling you, I see Green Bay going all the way.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. Much as you want to, and I'm talking about, I'm picking Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady. And I'm telling you, I sat down and studied this. I got it written down. Tom Brady was not ready for Aaron Rodgers this year. Not this year. No fucking way. No.
Well, I tell you, I think Tampa Bay is actually pretending. I don't think they're going to get to the NFC Finals. They're going to get bumped in the first round, I believe. And now, you can mock it here. We go back and check the video later.
Arizona, I don't even think they're going to make it.
Tyler Murray, I'm telling you, he was my candidate for MVP until he got hurt. He was my candidate. You watch that cat play? Kyler Murray?
I don't think Arizona is going to make the playoffs.
What, man? You crazy? What you mean you don't think they gonna make the playoffs?
Wait a minute. Hold up. I'm not understanding my hand right. 118 might not make the playoffs. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. No, not make the playoffs. That's not what I said. I mean make the conference finals. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I got you in the conference finals in that regard. It's gonna be a tough one. And in the NFC, you already picked Green Bay to win it all, so they're gonna have to make the conference finals.
Green Bay gonna go all the way to the bowl.
You know what? Crazy as it might sound, I think Dallas might bump Green Bay off. If Dallas get to playing the way they can play, I think they got enough to knock Green Bay out.
It's that damn heart of yours. It's that heart. Why don't you do yourself a favor? All those jerseys behind you, put all Cowboy jerseys right there. Do that. Because that's how you bleed that and you live it. You somehow is saying that they're going to turn it around and they're going to hold the. I'm telling you, that's not going to happen. Homeway fan of the year, that's not going to happen. No.
Hey, listen. You sleeping. You sleeping on the Cowboys. I get it. I get it. I'm telling you, they got what it takes.
Listen, the Rams and the Arizona are a far better team than the Cowboys. If they face any one of them guys, they're gonna send them home.
I mean, those are tough matchups. Those are tough matchups. Okay, but I don't believe in Stafford. I don't think Stafford gonna show up for a big game. He ain't been in no big game. He came from Detroit, so he don't know what a big game is about. Matter of fact, this is his first taste of playoffs. So I don't believe in the Stafford.
I'm gonna give you a quote that Seamus taught me, and Sam Bradford, by the way, is the other reason why I won the fantasy football. Sam Bradford.
Bradford? No. You're talking about Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford.
I'm sorry. Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, Sam Bradford's been out of the league for 20 years.
Matthew Stafford don't throw interceptions, and he been waiting on the big break. I noticed about people, when people have to have something a long time and they have a chance to obtain it, they are crafty. They are young. Listen, they are at their last wit to make it happen. I wouldn't want to face, if I was Dallas, Matthew Stafford or no Tyler Murray in the first round. I don't want to face them boys. And J.J. Watt just came back from his injury. I don't want to be the Cowboys playing them. And they lost Gallup for the rest of the year.
Well, they got receivers. They got receivers for days. But hey, listen. By the way, we just got George just joined us. George, you might be coming in with an echo. If you when you came in on the link, there's a section there right where it says audio and it says echo, and there's got a little box you need to check off on. That may be what you may need to check off on that box, because I think you're coming in with an echo. Say something.
Hello.
It don't sound like an echo.
Huh?
Say something again.
Hello.
Now he's straight.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, he's straight.
You got something? You got TV on in the background?
Oh yeah, I'm watching the game.
Oh, wait a minute. You got some way to cover your microphone and take the noise out?
Oh yeah, let's cut it down.
Yeah, turn the TV down as well.
Okay.
Because we were hearing that. That's what I was hearing.
Yeah, that's what you were hearing. I got my TV off, by the way, so I got the volume completely off so I can communicate.
Yeah, I usually watch the games with the volume down anyway.
Yeah.
And that's something, you know what? Not to get off the line here, Ace, but that's something, man, we got to do. We got to be our own narrators for a game. That means we're going to sit down and we're gonna turn the volume down. We're gonna watch the game, and we're gonna narrate the game. We're gonna call play by play ourselves.
Color commentating sounds good.
Yeah, we're gonna commentate, and again, that's something I want to try out as well. So we can take a shot at that. It's gonna have to be soon because we got football playoffs are starting. So keep that in mind.
Catch one of the games this Sunday.
Well, that we can take a shot at that. We can take a shot at that, but that's something I want to get involved with and try to do that. And then if it works out, and then we can actually do basketball games that way as well. I mean, we can talk just as much crap as the rest of those guys be talking. You know what I'm saying? So George, what's up, man?
Tired. We gotta work. Like,
You tired? You're too young to be tired, boy.
I was going to say the same thing. You're about 28 years old, maybe 31.
I'll say 7 this morning. That's why.
Well, how old are you?
23.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! I'll do anything. Oh, let me tell you something, young man. When I was your age, that was one word I can promise you I never said. And we didn't have all these Ubers and Lyfts. Oh my God, the man's ain't 23 and he died. Somebody give me a drink, please. Oh my God. Young man, I'm 52 years old, and you're very serious outside.
Hey, listen, these young bucks get tired too, you know what I'm saying? But George, since you just joined us, I don't know if you had a chance to listen in on some of the things we were talking about. Did you catch any of it?
I heard about Matthew Stafford. I think you talk about the NFC playoff picture right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard, the end of it.
Okay. And you got any input? You got any input on any of that?
My input, what I have right at the moment. Wait, are the Packers, they're locked in for the 1 seed, or do we have to play to lock in tomorrow?
Nah, they got the 1 seed. The Packers clinched the number 1 seed.
Yeah, so I think, in my opinion, because I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan since 2011. That's when I really got into football. I've always watched football, but I invested in my time into it to know the game better around that time, and I've just been amazed by him ever since then. So I feel like this year might be the year since Antonio Brown. Everybody's.
No, go ahead. I just zoomed in on you.
Yeah, he zoomed in on only you.
All right. Yeah. So
don't get camera shot now.
Oh, no, I'm not. I thought I lagged out. That's what it was. But,
you thought you lost.
I think since Tampa, they lost Goodwin for the year. I think he had the ACL or MCL injury. Antonio Brown was no longer on Tampa. That's a big loss, even though.
Hold on. Tell me, speaking of Antonio Brown, we talked about that earlier. What do you think about his career in the NFL going forward?
I think he'll get another chance, but not right now. I think some team will give him a chance, but not next year. Not next year or the year after that. I think when he shows he can control his emotions better than what he did on the field last week. That's when they'll give him a chance, but it's gonna be on the same deal he had recently, which was a prove it deal, because it's not about his talent, it's about what he got going on up here, because he's got a lot of problems since 2019. I've been keeping track of it since 2019, from when he was in Pittsburgh and what happened in Pittsburgh. Then he got traded to Oakland. Then when he did Oakland, got traded to Buffalo, or he got cut or traded to Buffalo. I can't remember which one it was. He didn't want to play for the Bills. He ended up signing with the Patriots, and that's when the whole allegation with the cases came up. Got released from the Patriots, and Brady actually helped him get back into the league because no team wanted to sign him, and he was somewhat under control. And I've heard that Bruce Arians and him had problems from way back when Bruce Arians was an assistant coach in Pittsburgh, I think.
Yeah, they did. They did.
So I think he was, what's the word I'm looking for? I think in my opinion, because there's no, I'm not saying that he won't act like that, but I think like there was a reason for him to act like that. I think Bruce Arians do that because they don't really get along like that. Only reason he's there because Tom Brady. So the only way to get him out of town, he knew what Tony Brown was like. There had to be some thought about Tony Brown doing that. Like, I didn't think that he was gonna do that on the field, but they thought he was gonna do something like after the game or just do like keep off camera and stuff. So
Well, nobody's surprised by the Antonio Brown antics. I mean,
yeah,
it's his career was laced with those type of things. Like I said,
yeah,
you go way back when Bruce Arians had him in Pittsburgh, but I mean, the thing he was doing in the locker room with Tomlin speaking, he on Facebook trying to get viewers. He filming in the locker room and recording the coach speech to the team. I mean, well, come on now. What's up with that? And then, of course, all the money he's left on the table,
I
like you
think
said.
when Bruce Arians was in Arizona, because that had been like it was a playoff game if I remember correctly. Or I know Juju was on the team when that happened. Juju Smith-Schuster, that's one of my favorite young receivers. But
Yeah,
I know you're talking about, dude. But I think Bruce
yeah,
Arians,
and him and Big Ben didn't see eye to eye either.
yeah,
You know, so he's left in Mark. He went to, like you said, when he went to the Raiders, man, he left more money on the table, acting stupid. And again, Tom Brady stuck his neck out. He stuck his neck out for him for Tampa. Otherwise, Bruce Arians would have never brought him in there. And
mm,
look what he did. Now he's trying to turn his back on Tom Brady. You know, trying to say Tom Brady only liked him because he was a good football player. So I mean, listen, Antonio Brown, you need to get you a day gig or something, because where somebody you don't even have to deal with your mess. Not to mention the off the field stuff. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So, but yeah,
Like
that's
I
the we touch bases on that.
listen, the bottom line is because it was Tom Brady, that's what's going to do. Antonio Brown is done because Tom Brady is like an accolade, an icon now. The oldest player in the game, the most active player on any roster that's performing. So his word carries volume. And people gonna look, damn, you with Tom Brady and you got an issue? They don't want to care too much about what it was. It's the fact who you was partnered with, who you was on the team with, and the outcome. That's the only reason why I told you before, because I said what D-Lay said, hey, he'll get another shot. I was big on that. Now, I thought about it after Tom Brady. That's like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Yeah, you don't want to mess with them boys because they can ruin your career just by you walking off. And that's what he did. He
Yep.
would have any other quarterback, even Aaron Rodgers, he would have had a shot. But because of Tom Brady, done.
Yeah. Yeah. He embarrassed. I mean, it's one of the most, I ain't gonna say trustworthy, but one of the most respected players in the league of all time. Actually, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know, that's just like some of the noise that's been coming out about Michael Jordan. You know, after he did that documentary. You know, a
Yeah,
lot of players came out and said Mike wasn't the most gracious kind of player. And even though he was considered the greatest of all time, but I mean, I got doubts about that. Matter of fact, my goat is out in L.A. right now, and he can't be touched. But anyway, we'll get on that NBA subject in a sec.
Oh Lord, yeah, you
Uh,
better stay away from that. You better stay away from that because you ain't gonna like the
listen.
outcome of that. Because I'm gonna stop that. I'm gonna cut that goat legs off.
Hey, let me throw this out there to you guys. Who do you think? I mean, what do you think's gonna happen with Tua? You think the Dolphins
um,
gonna stay with him?
You damn right they was stay with it.
Huh?
I don't know. That situation is kind of in the air because if Deshaun Watson's allegations get cleared, I think they might trade him to Houston for Tua. I think they might trade Tua to Houston for Deshaun Watson because that's what they wanted to do this year. But from what I read, I think it was four allegations that weren't cleared in time by the trade deadline, so the trade didn't go through because Dolphins didn't want to pull the trigger and then have him not play this year. So it would have been a waste of a trade. Since Tua came back, somewhat healthy to play, might as well go with him, see what he can do. and then try to probably if he does good, get a trade value up. If he doesn't, pull the trigger or get what you can get for him. But I think if I were them, I would give him one more year because he's only been on the team for 2 years, and I mean he's not doing what Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow is doing right now.
Not even
But
close.
yeah, but the Dolphins, they don't really have a good O line. I mean, I'm not like a big well, I'm not really like I said, I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan, so the quarterback position, I understand it a lot. Like if the Dolphins have somebody like of that caliber of talent with the roster they had the past few years, especially the last year roster when they went 10-6, I think they would be like some serious contenders.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about serious. You know what I'm saying?
They had a good defense last year too, and like most of the games they lost was because of inexperience at quarterback and just turnovers like that should never happen with somebody who's more experienced with like a better quarterback.
Yeah. Well, they to me, Tua is not a franchise quarterback. Like you mentioned, those other Curtis Herbert and those other guys that they've drafted before him.
Yeah.
Those guys are franchise quarterbacks. Tua is not. And Dolphins are not going to go any further because he can't take them any further.
Well, let me say something. See, this Miami Dolphin thing, young man, we've been there before, and Bingo know we talked about this when we were looking at our jobs together. I want to say name and get caught in infringement, right? When we had our jobs together, we had Miami Dolphin talks. And the one thing I've learned, right, after the Dolphins kept Fiedler, as long as they did, I learned something about them. They'll never be what we wanted to be as a fan because they never could think outside the box. Just like they kept Fiedler for all them years, they're going to keep Tua. That's a fact. They're going to keep Tua. I said it. He'll be there. He'll be there. Now they're a quarterback getting scammed. Tua may be a backup or a starter. But young man, I don't know if you remember Jay Peters. They should have cut that man a long time ago. Big old ears and nothing inside his head. He only was good for dink and dunks. Right, Bingo?
Yeah.
He never threw it downfield. And even the fans like, man, throw a 30-yard pass, please. He wouldn't do it. So that lets me know if they kept Peter all them years, Tua gonna get another chance. He'll get at least 2 more years. Fact. They'll say he was injured, he couldn't perform. When he came in, he did a little better, we'll give him a shot. Fact. Look for Tua to be a Deshaun Watson. He may be there, but Tua ain't going nowhere. Tua may be a backup. He's not a terrible quarterback. If I was the Dolphins, I'd get Deshaun Watson and I'd keep Tua as a backup. He's not bad.
Yeah.
He can't start. He sure can back up.
Yeah, somebody's going to want him. Somebody's going to want him, but to me, he's not proven as a starter that can take you to the next level.
Yes,
he can't. He maxed out, and we know he's injury prone. So he got lucky toward the end of the season, but we know he's injury prone. So we know.
Back up. He had to back up. Dolphins may get if they can get something for him, then go for it. But other teams gonna look at his injuries and say, man, let me tell you something, young man. When you get a little older, you will remember me telling you this. You don't grab everything you see because of what you see. You want a history on it. Remember when you buy a car, you heard a thing called Carfax? That's why they made Carfax. Yeah, it looked good on the outside, but I want to know what's under the hood. Tua under the hood, he is taped up, bandaged up, stapled up. Man, I don't know. Bro, that's it. Hey, it happens. Great Hill, great player, couldn't stay on the court. I can go down the list and say good players that was injured. And Tua falls in that category.
Okay. Well, listen, we know the Dolphins as a team. I always thought and felt was ready for the playoffs. They're built right now, but they need that quarterback to get them over the edge, and they don't have that quarterback. They know it. And you got now. They're talking about Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. All these guys are trying to move. I think Russell Wilson's going to leave Seattle. I don't think he's going to be there. So
I think
shit, if the Dolphins can land him,
I think he might go to
they're
Denver.
ready. Huh?
I think he might go to Denver. I don't think the Dolphins.
He's absolutely right. Let me tell you something. The Dolphins market a franchise is not what people want to end up. Remember a time, Bingo, back in our time, Cincinnati Bingo was considered a place where you die in your career.
What's the Browns now?
Listen, I don't see a prolific quarterback coming out on free agency and say I don't play in Miami. Are you kidding me?
Man, you know everybody want to come to Miami, boy. Everybody want to come to South Beach.
South Beach is that good.
What you mean?
Listen, let me tell you. When you get to these people's career or the age of their career, they want a damn ring. The Dolphins
Listen,
oh
that defense was rated #1 for like 6 games in a row. When they went on that winning streak, who you think got them that winning streak? It's that defense. That defense is ready. That defense is ready.
I see homeboy shaking his head. He don't even agree. Let me ask you something.
Yeah, you do.
Listen, you said the most critical statement you said. You said for 6 games. The last time I checked, the football season is 18 weeks long. But you went and grabbed 6 games.
Yeah, I went through the most recency route. The last 7, they won what 6 out of 7. But they lost their first 7 games, first 6 games. So, but the defense, I've always said, their defense is ready for the playoffs. Their offense is not giving them what they need. Their quarterback couldn't put them over the edge, and they're going to get rid of him. I mean, he's gone. Either that, or he's going to be a backup.
You made a comment about defense. Wait a minute, Alexa, what's the Miami Dolphins rank on defense in the NFL?
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Alexa, what's the
Alexis don't know.
ranking on defense?
Here's something I found on the web. According to SunSentinel.com, the Dolphins defense is ranked 28th, around 401 yards a game.
They're ranked 28.
No, that's overall. I mean, like I said, the last 6 games, the boys been balling. The last 6 games.
He just said the Dolphins on 6 games, they was #1 team. Well, the other 12 games, put them in the rankings, they ranked 28. What you saying? Again,
Listen.
Who wants to come play with the Dolphins? Bingo. Listen, homeboy, I love you to death, but you're talking to a man who watches sports shows all day long. When I tell you something, I'm telling you facts. I'm telling you, what y'all young people say? Facts. That's what you say, DLA? Facts. I'm telling you facts. Nobody wants to play the Miami Dolphins. Nobody. And I'm a Dolphin fan, you know it. But since I've been home this year, oh man, we think that this thing in your beginning, you said everybody got one, but some of us take the worst. And the Dolphins, they people smells bad.
All right. So listen.
I want to ask you a question. Do you agree with Bingo that Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson will want to come play for the Dolphins on the free agency mark? You agree with him?
I'm not Russell Wilson, but I think Rodgers would
Well,
because I feel like he would come down here because even though whatever Alexis said, like I don't really go by rankings on defense because, for example, the Giants going into that 2011, no 12, one of them. It was one of the seasons they went when they beat the Patriots the second time in the Super Bowl. I think they went 8-8 that season, and their defense didn't really get going to the end of the season because they were dealing with a whole bunch of different injuries or just bad defense in general. And then when they got to the playoffs, it was a different story. It looked like a team that went 12-4 and everything was working magically. I feel like in football it's different from basketball because any given team in the playoffs can get going at any minute and go on like a good winning streak, the defense can be playing bad in the regular season. If they sneak into the playoffs, they can be the number one defense in the playoffs, and the offense barely has to put up points because the defense is going to win them the game. Because the playoffs is a different story from the regular season. One mistake in the playoffs can cost you a season. So people, well, inexperienced quarterbacks, just quarterbacks in general. I don't know any examples I could use at the moment, but they play more protective, like passive. Like they don't play like to their strength of what they do in the regular season. Like they're not gonna go downfield all the time. They're gonna play with just short drops or more protecting the ball from getting intercepted or turning the ball over almost or anything of the sort. So I feel like if Aaron Rodgers does get an idea of wanting to leave Green Bay because he did want to leave, and if I recall, the Dolphins were one of the teams he wanted to go to if he left. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not too sure, but I feel like they can make it work if he comes down here because he's a very good quarterback.
Of course, he's gonna make it work wherever he go, and I'm just curious to see if he really, truly, sincerely gonna leave Green Bay. That's the part I'm unsure about.
I mean, I would want him.
If they win that championship, you can rest assured.
Oh, he's
a cheesehead. They ain't going to cheesehead. He win that championship, he ain't going nowhere.
I want him to leave because I feel like they weren't getting him the help like how LeBron was in Cleveland, how they weren't getting him any help. I felt like that was the same way with Aaron Rodgers the past, I don't know how many years it's been now. Because it was 1 year, the 2014 or 2015 season, he had a wide receiver playing running back because all his running backs were hurt that year. And the defense was not good at all. I think he took them to the second round of the playoffs against Arizona, where Larry Fitzgerald had scored the game winner in overtime. I don't know what year that was, but I think that's how far he took them because he had beat the Cowboys off a toe drag catch from I forgot who it was who caught the ball in Dallas and beat him on a field goal. So when I seen that, I was like, okay, Rodgers could probably take them to the championship game.
But see, Rodgers, what's the thing with Rodgers? He can lift an average team.
Yeah.
He can make them better. That's why I said Tua can't do it. The Dolphins got some good players. They really do. Offense and defense. But he can't lift them. Aaron Rodgers has shown, like you said, they never would go get him some help. I mean, he got Devontae Adams, but at the running back spot, I mean, I like Rodgers, the other Rodgers, that running back that they got. He's pretty good. But Aaron Rodgers has proven that he can take average players and lift them up to the next level.
Yeah,
Russell Wilson can do the same thing.
He never played with a first round receiver in his career.
Exactly. And you know what? What's ironic about all that is that's the same thing that's going on with Lamar Jackson. They refuse to go out and get a named receiver for him or two, and they've had opportunities, but they won't do it. So they rely on him. He's hurt right now. I don't know if he's going to be around for the playoffs. I know he's not going to be playing this weekend, but if they lose, they out of the playoffs.
Oh, I thought they had got eliminated already because of last week. I didn't know they were still.
No. Yeah, they got to win, and two teams got to lose, so that if you basically you might as well say you're out of it. But he's not going to be playing this weekend either. So his injury was more serious than we thought. So, but with that, let's talk a little bit about here. We talked about Aaron Rodgers. Now, Ace, you mentioned to us already who was going to win the Super Bowl. You put Green Bay. Who do you put in the Super Bowl with them?
Oh, I looked over there in this. Now, I had to look at my sheet. There's two teams that I feel, and I'm going to have to narrow it down. I'm going to get D-Day to help me on that. KC and Cincinnati. Or should I say Cincinnati and KC? Because let's get it before we start. You can't overlook Cincinnati no more. You cannot overlook them no more. Because they are balling out of control. So, D-Lay, I need you to help me. It's only two teams that's going to be in the conference final, and that's going to be KC and Cincinnati. And I already put money on the Vegas for that. That's to let you know.
I don't know. I think it might be Kansas City and the Bills because Cincinnati's kind of, like I said, they're kind of inexperienced still, so they're gonna be
No, I
playing.
said the conference final now.
Yeah, I know. It might be Kansas City and the Bills because they both in the AFC. I like the Bills as well.
I like the Bills, but you know what they showed me? Their defense showed me they're very solid, but they get intimidated when they're playing top-notch teams. Great defenses get in there and they ball. Now, what I like about KC, they experience their defense to get in there and rough it out with you. And that's the fact. Cincinnati saying, hey, our defense may drop the ball, but damn, you gotta stop us. See, that's what I like about this Cincinnati. If you score in their defense, they're looking for you to score. But they're looking for you to stop them. It's get stopping us. And Mahomes showed that. He said we're a running gun team. The score may be 58-62. You understand? Well, you see them kind of games. So,
Yeah.
hey,
Well, I think it's going to be in the NFC. Of course, you know, I see Dallas and Green Bay going at it, and that's going to be a tough one. But I think Dallas is going to be able to beat them. So my pick from the NFC is going to be Dallas going to the bowl, and in the AFC, I see Kansas City and Tennessee. Kansas City and Tennessee.
I don't think Dallas I don't think they go that far. I'm still going that.
See, y'all doubt us. All y'all doubt us. All y'all Dallas haters. All y'all Dallas haters. All right. Listen, I'm going to go back to the tape on y'all. The Super Bowl time coming around. I'm going to go back to the tape on you.
Hey, we're going to go to the tape on him. We're going to the tape on you.
It's something about them I can't put my finger on. Like, I don't know. Like, some games they play like they a Super Bowl contender. The next game they play like
they're not consistent. Thank you, D-Lay. Thank you. The Cowboys are not consistent. And I would go a little further. They only play real good when Jerry Jones come on the sideline so he know who to be on fire. That's what right. Come on, man.
Right.
Come on, man. Come on.
Right.
We've been talking about this for years. When he come on the sideline, somebody's job is in trouble, and everybody playing out of their mind. That's how, what's that boy name? The receiver, Brian, what was his name? Brian?
That's Brian?
Yes. I learned that from Des Brown, Mike Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman. He had more concussions than you have headaches. Man, don't get me started. I like what D-Lay said, and I like what you said, Bingo. D-Lay said they're not consistent. I like what you said when you said go back and look at the tape. Yo, let me write that down.
Write that down. You heard it first. Right here on B-Long Studio. Hey, listen. Now, with that being said, you know, we got the college championship game coming up. Alabama and Georgia. The Alabama busting them up in the SEC championship game.
It's time for a change. You can't be the top dog ever. Now, I don't follow sport that much, but I do know this in the college. Georgia saying to themselves, we beat Alabama. We get notoriety like no other because we the team that put them on the ass. So I like Georgia. I'm going with the underdog. Now, I don't know what the spread is, but I'm going with the underdog because, hey, if I'm looking to play against Alabama, you already got the extra in the book that I'm going to lose. So I can go for the fourth down, do a trick play. I got nothing to lose because nobody expects us to win anyway. But see, Alabama, everybody expect everything. You cannot lose. And you know what? You better not lose. So they got to play conservative. They got to play with watchdog with it. I like Georgia. Bulldogs.
All right. Well, you got George.
Right now, I can't really give an answer because, like, even though Alabama, I don't want them to win. I want Georgia to win, but at the same time, whenever Alabama's down in a game, you can never count them out. They always pulling out some last minute comeback. So I like Georgia, but I'm not confident in them winning because it's Alabama and they always surprise me. Like, what game was the season? I think it was the Auburn game. I was watching that game. I was at work. I was watching it, and I thought Auburn won, so I left not knowing the game went to like 3 different overtimes, and Alabama came back and won it. I thought the game was over because it was like a minute left in the game, and it was down 3. But Georgia, I mean, my fault. Auburn had the ball, and they were moving the chains. So I didn't stay to the end, but that's my mistake because I don't usually leave games until the clock hits 0. But I thought it was over. So when I got home and seen that Alabama won, I had to go back and watch the tape how they did it, and I was like, yeah, I definitely can't count them out of any game that they're losing because.
Yeah, I don't think you can count Alabama out either. And I'm not sure which one of these teams is going to win. But I tell you what, I'm going to put the onus on Alabama because of their quarterback. They got a better quarterback. In these championship games, the quarterback usually makes a difference. And that kid is pretty good. He's pretty good. So and Alabama beat them pretty bad in the SEC championship game. But that could come back to haunt them because Georgia's going to be ready for them this year. I mean, excuse me, in the championship game. But I think Alabama got the best quarterback, and that's what's going to be the difference. That's going to be the difference.
Yeah.
So with that, bitch,
I could probably make my decision probably a day before when I see. Cause I know one of Alabama's receivers is out for the season. I forgot which one it was. They tore the ACL. But once I evaluated more, because I didn't watch the championship games. I was working. I was too busy to watch any of them. But once I go back and watch tape and stuff, see how both teams played, I can probably come up with my decision right then and there.
Well, you ain't got but one more day to come up with your decision. You got one day. I don't know what kind of analytics you're gonna be using, but you got one day to come up with it, and we're gonna see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they said they prepare. They call him the gingerbread. My fault. The gingerbread man because he moves around a lot in the pocket. That's what Jordan.
Who that?
So I had to see.
Yes.
I watched Alabama games, but like I said, I got to see how they played in the game beforehand. Just let you know my decision because I know adjustments are going to be made and all the other stuff. So I had to see what they did. I didn't get to watch the game.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, listen, we're gonna wind things down here. But before we get out of here, we got to touch a little bit on the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So right now, Ace, who would be your top 3 NBA teams from the East and the top 3 teams from the West right now?
Okay. From the West, Golden State Warriors. Yeah, I wrote it down, but as we started thinking, I started wondering. I got Golden State and I really want to say the Mavericks.
What? The Mavericks?
They're gonna get it together after they do the what you call the All-Star game. I see the potential with them. They're gonna get in gear. They need to regroup. They're my 3rd team, not my first choice. That's a wild card team. Watch them. And that team with wait a minute. That's the one with that got Jokey. That's the Mavericks or Nuggets?
The Nuggets. The Nuggets.
Okay, Nuggets. That's what I meant. The Nuggets. Now, so it'll be Golden State, and I have to put the Lakers behind Golden State, and then Jokey, the guy for the Nuggets.
Jokic.
Yeah. Jokic. I said his name wrong, but I'm looking at the player, Jokey. He get that team. He's a bad boy. Now.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Now, so if y'all agree with that, Golden State first though, then the Lakers, then Jokey.
I'm surprised you put the Lakers in there.
What you say, D.A.?
After the Lakers, oh,
Woo!
not
No,
right now.
but you know what? Let me tell you something. Remember, quote me on this channel for saying this. When it comes to the deadline of trading, watch what the Lakers do. Bingo, we seen it too many times. LeBron trim off the fat on the team. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You're right. You're right.
See, the
Yeah,
young
but
people don't know how this go.
yeah,
LeBron
but this is
go back and look, man, you ain't making it.
yeah,
I'm
but
telling
this
you what's going to happen. And
yeah,
then
but
he cut the fat, then the Lakers will start balling.
it's the
All the
West though.
losing they doing, they're
Oh,
pissing LeBron off. It's pissing.
oh,
He got to many more years. He can't be thinking another bad season. He got to get 9. Watch what I tell you.
yeah, but it's
I'm not a
the
Laker
West
fan.
though.
I'm not a Laker fan, but
Mhm.
I am a man of analytics, and we seen LeBron do this to every team he with. He goes, he run the team. He trying to tell the coach my ass. It's you. Now, that's my team for the West. Golden State.
Go ahead, George.
My
Now,
3 teams in the West.
yeah.
I got
Yeah.
Golden State number 1. Everybody's sleeping on Memphis, but they're my number 3 team, like right now, because Memphis they're doing their stuff right now. John Morant, Dylan Brooks, even Steven Adams on that team's helping a lot. And I'm a big John Morant fan since he came into the league. So I've been watching Memphis for a little minute now. So they're gonna be an issue because they have a very good defense and they're all young. And they went to the playoffs last year, so they have a little experience with it. And with Steven Adams there too, he brings that playoff experience as well. But they had Valanciunas last year. I didn't think he was like the perfect fit, but Steven Adams there, he helped out a lot on defense. So I don't think teams will be beating him up in the paint like that no more, like how they were the year before in the playoffs when Donovan Mitchell was up like 50 on them. And they're a top 4 seed right now. Even when John Morant was out, they were still balling. Like they were still winning with John Morant out. So that shows you they have depth that they can rely on if anything happens. But that's my number 3 team. My number 2 seed is like it's kind of a throw up between. I can't say the Lakers right now because they're very consistent. But if later down the line they might be up there. I don't want to say Phoenix because I feel like if the Lakers if any of the teams they went against last year in the playoffs were any of them healthy, they would have, especially the Clippers, they would have got them out of there because Paul George was doing it by himself. And Reggie Jackson. It's hard. I think
That's a hard conference in itself. Now
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
pick the Phoenix Suns. I didn't pick
Yeah.
the Phoenix Suns because I was watching them. They're not playing the same way they played last year. That's why I didn't pick them. That's why I didn't pick
don't
them.
really count the Suns. Like I don't want to count them. I would have to. Everybody's like it's like the West is stacked, but everybody's injured in the West right now, so it's kind of hard to choose 3 top teams right now. It's just 2 because everybody else is just going up and down the standings every night. So I might have to go with the Nuggets as well as number 2 because if they get Jamal Murray back this year because he's injured last year, so he's coming back soon as well. What's his name? Michael Porter Jr. is out for the season, so they're not getting him back. But even without him, they're a dangerous team because they have different people who can go off any given night. When Jokic there,
Yogi, he set the tone on that team. That's why I can't count them out. I can't overlook them. I picked them over Phoenix. I'm telling you, I picked them over Phoenix. Phoenix are playing sloppy basketball. They're not.
I don't know about that.
No.
I think Phoenix.
But I don't think like if everybody. I like Phoenix because Chris Paul he does change the team and make teams 10 times better than they are. For example, Oklahoma City. Everybody thought they weren't going to make the playoffs 2020, but they did end up making the playoffs, and that's where my respect for Chris Paul kind of went like to the roof. But at the same time, I feel like they would never make the finals last year. Okay, the Lakers were hurt, Denver was hurt, but if Kawhi doesn't get hurt in that Utah series, I feel like the Clippers would have swept Phoenix because all the games were close except the last one when they blew them out the building. And Paul George, like both of the 2 of the games they lost, one was a buzzer beater, and the other one was because Paul George missed some free throws. in the end. And I promise you, if Kawhi was Kawhi, I don't think he missing like. I don't think that would be an issue because the game would have been decided already if he was missing. Because I don't think anybody would be on Phoenix would be able to stop him.
Yeah, well, you know what? I wouldn't count Phoenix out. I wouldn't count them out. You know, for the West, you know, I got right now. I got Golden State as the best team, and we don't know what the Heat are going to look like when Clay comes back. Now, a lot of people thinking they're going to escalate their game, but if Clay is not playing 60 to 70% of what he was, they may hurt him. Because remember, Clay was a defensive stopper for them as well, and that's going to be key. Now we know they can shoot the lights out, but their defense has been pretty good too. So Golden State's going to be tough, but I wouldn't sleep on Phoenix because of their youth, their experience of being in the championship game now, and the boys are young and they're athletic and they can shoot. So those two teams, but when it's all said and done, if health don't come in and play a factor, my Lakers will be there.
God.
My Lakers will be there.
Wait, let me
Okay?
explain something.
You can take that and book it.
I want you to book this. When it comes playoff time, because I don't know what he does, he won't be healthy for the whole postseason. And that's AD. Anthony Davis, he's hurt every season when it comes to post. And this won't be no different. Trust me when I tell you. He's gonna
That's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of.
watch.
But you know what, though?
Season, he's gonna be done.
But you know what? Think about this for a second. If you look at the last 3 or 4 championship teams, the other team that they beat had major players that were hurt. Think about it. You know, Kawhi got his last year, but Golden State was down too.
Golden State had theirs when Clay was out. You're right. I agree. But
The year before that,
AD stay injured. He stay injured.
he does.
He
does.
He remind me of Grant Hill. Also ball player, but can't keep on the court a whole season.
Yeah. Those foot injuries. When you get those foot injuries, it's a tough comeback in the NBA.
Let's go to the East. I got the Heat. I got the Nets.
So you playing Homer?
Of course. Now wait a minute. There you go. You see that guy? I forgot his name. That center that's playing in Bam Place. That boy bad. I would keep him up there and make Bam a small forward because he got ball skills.
He's small forward.
He's gonna be a bad matchup. And then Puka, whatever his name is, when he come back, y'all? I got notes right here.
I don't know about Bam at small forward because Bam he can guard 1 through 5, and I'm not York. What's his name? I don't know the pronounce his name, but number 77. He's doing good right now in the placement of Bam, but I think when it comes to experienced people like Giannis or Joel Embiid, they're gonna eat him alive.
Do you agree with this? The Heat is a bad matchup because they can match anybody in the NBA.
Well, yeah, I said that earlier. I said that earlier to and Darren. I said it earlier because I was saying the Heat. If you stop one person on the Heat, somebody else can go off. Like it don't matter who it is. Butler doesn't need to score 30 a night.
That Tyler Hero, the unsung hero. Oh my God, he get hot. It's over. He is a bad matchup for anybody in the East.
Because they have
the Nets and the Heat. Them might three teams: the Bucks, the Nets, and the Heat.
Especially the Nets, because the Nets don't have the size to match any team with a good big man that scores a lot. If you've seen how Giannis or Joel Embiid, they're always going off against them because they have the Marcus Aldridge is 36. He can't stop none of them. Blake Griffin's not stopping Joel Embiid or Giannis in the paint.
Yeah. Blake Griffin might well go ahead and pack his retirement gear.
KD got the height, but he don't got the strength to match up with them because they're stronger than him. And he's not really known as a defensive stopper.
When they put PJ Tucker in there and Lowry, that just boosts the stock in the Heat. Because Tucker can handle any big man in the league, man. Mm-hmm. And he's proven that in his career.
I think the defensive five, when it comes down to like crunch time in the playoffs, it's gonna be Lowry, Oladipo, Butler, PJ, and Bam on the floor together for defense. They're the top 5 defenders on the team.
Now who
You
gonna
counting on Oladipo? We don't even know if he's gonna play, man. He's still hurt.
Yeah, he's coming back. He's going three.
postseason? You gonna see him in the postseason?
Yeah.
Can you imagine one time you'll see a rotation of Kubo, Butler, Lowry, Bam, and Tyler Hero? My God. You trying to run the court? What?
Yeah. The Heat got stacked. The Heat stacked. They got players.
The Heat to win it all into the conference finals? Oh my God.
Well, I mean,
going to the finals in 2020. I called it like as soon as I seen when Butler signed with Miami, I was like, yeah, they're the Heat. I called it. I have like messages in my phone to prove it. I was like, all the Heat need to do is get a big man now. Even without a big man, they go to the finals.
They got two of them. They got the guy with the more, the black guy.
Deadman.
Yeah, and then, oh my God, listen, let me tell you something. He's gonna make a lot of people cry this year. They got depth in their bench. They got
shooters. They got shooters.
Yeah, Max Strus. They got the new guy, Kyle Guy. They got
What about Duncan?
He's starting, but Duncan Robinson, he's like an on-off player to me because like I've been saying it since he's been starting in 2020 that he can shoot the ball, but on the defense side of the ball, they're gonna keep going at him and they give him a foul trouble to get him out of the game because they know he's not a good defender.
Well, you're right, but I'm talking about they got people. The Heat can go in their bench and see that's what you need. When your starters get tired, they go to their bench and the same style of ball is on the court.
Yeah, and they got Markieff Morris. I'll think about it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. No man, to come out the East, I narrow down to 2. I say Bucks because of Giannis, and I say Heat, man. I'm sorry, and I'm a Heat fan.
You can say that. I'm not going to disagree with you too much on that because I think the Heat is going to make some noise if they're healthy. But keep in mind, man, right now, and he just came back the other night. Kyrie played on the road, but the Nets, if Kyrie, Harden, and Durant are healthy, you gotta have to score them boys. And I don't see nobody out there that can outscore them. I don't see nobody.
But I agree with that, but at the same time, they don't have a defense because they let the Pacers score 121 points while they don't playing. And like Lance Stevenson, who didn't play in the league from like 2 years, dropped 30 on them. And,
man, it ain't about right now. It ain't about playing defense in the NBA. It's about who outscoring the other team. That's why they changed all these damn rules. You know what I mean? It's all about outscoring. And with those 3 guys, man, look out. I mean, I don't hold it against Kyrie for standing up and not wanting to be vaccinated. That's his choice. It's everybody's choice. People have a choice. This is still America. Last time I checked, this is a democratic country. But those 3 guys, man, when they get on the court, they're gonna be unstoppable. But I think, like you said, Milwaukee's looking good. People think that was a fluke. Milwaukee's gonna be there, and I think the Heat.
I don't think the Bucks. I don't think they're still top three team in the East, but I don't think I can't really say nothing about the Nets because Kyrie can't play home games, so the Bucks will use that to their advantage. But I don't really think they could beat the Heat. I don't think the Bucks could beat the Heat.
I'm telling you, the Heat is a bad matchup. They can beat. They got anybody on your opposing team. They got players to match you. To beat somebody, I learned this here. It's called matchups. The Heat can match with everybody. Listen, Giannis is a dynamic player. But the Heat last year or the year before in the bubble swept their damn year. So the Heat said it ain't have the players they got right now. So I look at that. Yeah, the Bucks came back and gave it back to them. But guess what? The fact that the Heat did it with the roster they had, and now they got players, man, Lowry. First of all, let's talk about Lowry in himself. The man is a great scorer and an awesome defender. So he gonna take anybody he got and out the game. That's what Larry gonna do. Dedmon showed that he dead ass strong in the middle of the paint. Then when he got this other 7-foot Yurt, whatever his name is, I would keep them two on the field. You my center and you my center. And then I'll put Bam at maybe Delay was right. I'll put Bam at power forward. Play the game. And then you still got Tucker coming in. Oh my God. Look at the matchup problems that he gives. And you gotta look out for Jimmy Butler because they play like a motherfucker for Jimmy Butler. Damn, Eric Spoelstra. Then you got a little young boy around there named Tyler Hero with no fear. He plays, he shows up every night for every game. And when there's a big game, he show out. Now, D-Lay made an excellent point. That deal with Kyrie can't play home games, so that means you go to the Heat. I mean, you go to play them at home in a playoff game, and you can mop the floor with them at home because one of their star players ain't playing. No, D-Lay made an excellent point. That's why I stuck on the two teams. I stuck to the Nets and the Heat. That's what I stuck to. Nets and the Heat. And let Tyler, not Tyler, what's that man, take his shot, do what he was gonna do. And I agree with him. You ain't gonna make me do a damn thing. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I applaud you for it, but you showed it into your boy Kaepernick with his views. Huh. I'm just keeping it real.
Right.
They're gonna honor your views, but they're gonna do business.
Yeah.
They're gonna do business.
But a lot of people don't realize too is there are a lot of other players in the NBA that haven't been vaccinated. I mean, Kyrie got limelight because he's Kyrie, but there are a lot of other players, and the fact that Kyrie cannot play in his home state or in California is where they don't allow players to play in the arenas. But there's a lot of other players.
That's only for that rule only applies to if you stay, like if you live in the state, like since he lives in Brooklyn, he can't play there, but he can go to California and play. And
but not with the Warriors, not in the Warriors, and I forget what part of California they're in, but he can't play there either, and that's why Wiggins eventually wound up getting his shot. But yeah, you're right. He can go anywhere else and play. He can play anywhere else. That's why they say the road games. But for the state of New York, he can't go to Madison Square Garden and play either, Kyrie. So, but that rule may change by the time the championships come around. That may change.
I heard they get a new mayor.
That shit changed.
I heard they might get a new mayor. I heard they might get a new mayor in New York. That's what I heard on the news a couple weeks ago. So if they get a new mayor, they said that he might change the vaccination rule in New York if it's still around.
I mean, to me, it really, like I said, it's only hurting a couple of players, the New York players, anybody that's playing in New York on a New York team. Everybody else can come into New York unvaccinated and play. So that rule is kind of
biased.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me in that regards. But we'll see what happens. Everybody, like you said, it's everybody's choice, and you want to do what you got to do. The main thing is you want to be able to maintain and keep your freedom of choice. That's the big thing right there. And I think a lot of people push back on it because they're not given a choice when they're supposed to be able to be in a country where choice is a privilege, is a right. Put it that way. But anyway, fellas, listen. Anything I want to close out with? We're going to get out of here and stuff. And we try to get back at it again next week.
It was a pleasure with DJ. I like him. I hope he can come back again. Because DJ really is optimistic and he's not afraid to speak the truth. And I love the fact that he bashed the Lakers and the Cowboys. That's my man.
Yeah. Y'all going to regret it with my Lakers. I mean, for all your GOAT fans out there, you really want to know who the GOAT is?
Michael Jordan.
Huh?
Michael Jordan.
Hold on. When the last time Michael Jordan played the 4 position? When the last time Michael Jordan played the 5 position? Did he ever play center? I don't think so. Did Michael Jordan average 28 at 37 years old? I don't listen. I don't even want. Listen, George, and don't even try to go there about he got all the rings. With dog, and last time I checked, Bill Russell had 12 of them. Okay, but he's not considered the greatest of all time.
I love it.
Okay,
he got 11 rings.
He got 11.
Yes.
Okay, I gave him one. I gave him one extra. I gave him the baker's dozen, which would be 13 actually. But yeah, that's another topic for the next time around. You know, my boy and his squad get right, and they gonna be blazing through the league. Then y'all gonna be like, damn, Pingo was right. He was right.
All right.
All right.
We gonna eat you. We gonna eat you alive with you still with your eyes open.
Okay. Anything else you want to close out with, George?
Well, anything like you said, we can save it for next time because it's about the debate about the GOAT, but I don't think we have enough time for that.
Yeah, even though because y'all don't have enough material.
Oh no, I've always come with I always come prepared because I'm always debating about it with Andera and the rest of them. So like I know about I got everything kind of already up here about what I'm on the stages.
Oh, so you don't think LeBron is the GOAT then?
I think he's the second best player.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop. Ain't no second. The man's still writing history. Still writing history.
Michael Jordan was doing the same, like basically doing the same thing at the same age. Like
No, not even close. Not even close. Yeah, but anyway, like you say, we can throw that on the table on the next meeting, and we know Big Ace. We're gonna say Jimmy Butler is probably the greatest of all time. You know what I'm saying?
No. I'm gonna go with the fact. I'm gonna say Bill Russell, just somebody who threw me different. He got 11 championships. He did something right. I'm sorry.
Right.
11 rings? Nah. Jordan, I love you. Bill Walton, Bird, all of them, I love you.
Listen.
Isaiah Thomas, but rings count. And he got 11. He got more rings than fingers. He got to add a finger to hold a ring. I'm sorry.
Hey, check this out. And if you want to count rings, look at Robert Horry. Is he ever considered the greatest of all time? I think he got 6 or 7.
Yeah,
Robert Horry.
He got his rings in a unique way. He got
No. Now we're gonna break it down in a unique way. The bottom line is he got the ring.
Yeah,
He's got ring. He got more rings. Either he tied with Jordan or got one more. He's never considered to be one of the greatest players of all time.
But, I hear you, but I'm trying to tell you something very important, right? Is 6 less than 11 or greater than 11?
Much less.
Okay. Bill Russell.
Well, yeah. I got you with that Bill Russell. That's what I brought him up because when those Jordan lovers, and I ain't hating on Jordan, but they love to holler about he got 6 rings. Well, you know what?
And I tell him about Bill Russell. He got more rings than Jordan. Hey, man, please. I throw Bill Russell up all the time. They hate to hear me say that. He's so great, but he got less rings than Bill Russell.
I mean, if it's about like favorite player, like my favorite player of all time is Dwayne Wade. So I would think he's the greatest of all time in my opinion. But if I'm being like factual, I'm just saying.
No. I love Wade too, man. We listen. We caught Wade at the beginning when he came out as a rookie. I remember Wade when he came out as a rookie and played for the Heat.
What's that place again? What was that place again he came from?
Marquette.
Listen, and I love Wade. I got a jersey I bought from Bingo because I love Wade. But we going the greatest of all time. Wade was the greatest Heat player. Yes. For all times, you still overlooking Bill Russell. I understand why you looking him. You don't know anything about him. I know that. But
I know about Bill Russell.
About
I know the history on Bill Russell. I know about all the NBA history from way back then to now.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. And I'm gonna tell you something, young man. Back in Bill Russell days, the New York Knicks and Detroit Pistons, they show you what a foul is. They take your damn head off. And Bill Russell got 11 championships when fouling. When you said, I got fired, you were considered a punk. So I'm telling you, that's why I love Jordan. Now LeBron, to me, when you talk about going to the hole, I'm gonna give it to Jordan to come to LeBron because Jordan used to get his head knocked off. Switch.
Yeah.
That's why he was switching fucking hands to avoid the hack. LeBron going there, they touched me. I'm sorry, baby. I'm calling what it is. Then when you don't get, I didn't get the foul. I didn't get the call. Man, get your ass down and play defense. Come on,
Listen,
man.
for 1 minute, don't think LeBron's soft and he couldn't play back into the day. You don't think he couldn't. Now that man is 6'9", built like a brick chiseled house. I mean, he coming down that hole. Them boys getting out his way. They getting out his way. He gonna dish more punishment than he gonna take.
Back in the days, he went to the Madison Square Garden. Patrick Ewing, John Starks, Houston, and Oakley would have been waiting on him. Don't let him go bring the old boys, the old bad boys of basketball. I mean, playing with Indiana Pacers was the bad boys when Ron Artest, the Davis brothers, and man, please, woo! We'll say that for another day. Cause then I'm getting emotional. I need some air there. So let me tell you, LeBron is such a baby. I be wondering, when somebody brings some wives to the court, we need some baby wives to the court. Because the biggest baby that have not been potty trained is whining.
All right, listen. That's a little prelude for anybody that's been joining us out there. Make sure you hit us up. DJBLongStudio.com, DJBLongStudio@gmail.com. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. That way you'll know when we get back on the air. And we anticipate trying to get back on the air maybe next week sometime, but we'll reach out to you and let you know. And we got some more hot topics coming at you. And make sure you tell a friend, tell them when, tell them then, and tell them again and again and again and again and again and again. Where they need to lock it in? Right here. We're out of here.
Bye.
Peace. Later.